Hey guys, Matthew here. Just wanted to share a really quick tip, and I've talked about this on other videos before, but I just got off a coaching session. I have a total of 5 of those coaching sessions today. Why? Because I love spending time with you guys on the phone, helping you achieve your goals more quickly. And these are coaching sessions with people all from YouTube. 5 today and 5 yesterday and 5 tomorrow. I mean, every single day I'm spending as many hours as I have available to have these conversations and help you guys accelerate. Now, on my last call, it was with a gentleman named Eddie. Eddie, hello. It was great speaking with you today. We're going to make terrific progress together. Eddie had purchased a 3-bureau package from MyFICO. Now, he spent $60 to do this, and I told him I would have discouraged it had I known ahead of time that he was going to pay for it. Now, you've heard me talking about MyFICO here on this channel before. MyFICO.com is self-proclaimed the leading source of credit scores and credit reports for lending institutions across the country. Roughly 90% of the top 100 lenders in the country use FICO. So it is an important formula for us to at least be familiar with, but not necessarily pay for. I would recommend sticking with the free resources that exist today for things like the coaching session that you can get from me by scheduling using the link in the description below, freecoachingcalendar.com, or for your own purposes and things like submitting applications for debt weapons. If you want new debt weapon accounts, most of them are going to rely on your overall credit worthiness, and they're going to look at your credit profile. Some of them don't require it, but most do. And if you have great credit, you're more likely to be approved than if you have less than perfect credit. Now, the target credit score that we're working towards at all times is at least a 760, a 760 and above. The minimum before we're really going to get out and start applying for new debt weapons is a 700 or better. With a 700, we can feel confident that we'll be taken seriously as borrowers. Now, some debt weapons don't require as good of a score as a 700. Some might only require 680, and even FHA will allow less than perfect credit scores, which is a type of mortgage loan. So not all loans require great credit, but the better your credit is, the better the loan you're going to get will be, and the better chance you'll have of being approved for it. Now, with that in mind, why might I be suggesting then not to pay for your FICO scores? Well, because we're a cash flow coaching team. We talk about maximizing the amount of money that you have left over at the end of the month. And cash flow is one of those things you can easily calculate. Cash flow is the difference between all of your income in the month minus all of your expenses in the month, which means that every month your cash flow should be different, which is why we rely on averages. And you might take 6 months or 12 or even a longer amount of time, like 2 years, to calculate your net cash flow position, but really relying on conservative averages to account for all of your spending. Your necessary spending along with your discretionary spending is really important to know how much is left over in total. And if we're spending money on things unnecessarily, like our credit scores and reports, then obviously that's going to contribute negatively towards our net cash flow position on average at the end of each year. So why spend $60 on a FICO credit score and report when you could get those credit scores and reports for free from resources like Credit Karma? So I always recommend visiting Credit Karma to begin with. I find it to be a tremendously user-friendly website. They've got a great mobile app for it. And Credit Karma then generates their money through sponsorships, advertising, and they also get paid based on their recommendations for people to submit applications for various credit card accounts and so forth. So they're earning, it's a massive profit center. All they're really getting from you is your traffic, your attention, and it's a terrific win-win situation for everybody. I love the platform. It's a genius idea. Now, Credit Karma and FICO are completely different formulas. So that's why people will sometimes choose to pay for their FICO scores. But before you do that, just know that many banks will also provide you access to your FICO credit scores. And upon further research, a recent collection account that I had posted a video about had a dramatic impact on my FICO credit scores, where it only had a very minimal impact on my Credit Karma scores. In fact, my credit scores were still above 800, dropped by only about 20 points, went from an 828 to an 808, I believe, on my Credit Karma Vantage scores, versus my FICO scores, which are being provided to me by one of my mortgage providers, which dropped all the way into the high 600s. Thankfully, I was successful in getting that collection account removed. So make sure you check out that video if you ever have any problems regarding collection accounts, just to see how we did it. And I do expect that that adjustment will take effect once the new reporting cycle happens. where that score should jump back up into the mid 800s again for FICO. But man, did it get hit hard. And so the only time where I'm going to really encourage you to pay for your FICO credit scores is if I were in the process of applying for something right now and I knew I really wanted to have at least a minimum of 700 before I submitted an application, or even a 680 or 720, or I'm going to do my homework to find out what the best minimum FICO credit score I need to have should be. I may go out and actually pay for those FICO credit scores beforehand so that I can determine whether or not submitting that application makes sense right now. The last thing I want to do is submit an application, and due to a lack of information, I end up being declined on the account I'm applying for, because then I'll end up with an inquiry on my credit report that will slow down my progress moving forward. It may end up taking me more months than I want it to because I wasn't patient enough and didn't do enough homework ahead of time before I submitted that application. So very important to know where our credit scores are if we're in the process of submitting applications. But if you're really on standby for something, don't go out and splurge on $60 worth of FICO credit scores and reports. That's an unnecessary use of your cash flow. Guys, I hope this helped. Rely on Credit Karma. Check out all of our other videos. Make sure you become a subscriber and like these videos. If you like these short little tips as I find great information to share with you in my coaching sessions, make sure you do smash that like button, because it does tell us that you like it, and it also gets the word out there through YouTube's algorithm to other folks. We look forward to seeing you on our next video as always. Until then, make it a great day today and take care.